everyone. We are here live at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. This is the fifth day of the Women's Martial Arts Festival. This is Rika Aquino, and with me, MMA champion and 2019 SEA Games gold medalist, Mark Striegel. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you doing? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So today we are going to cover Sambo, a sport that's very familiar to you, right?
Yes, absolutely. I won gold in combat sambo in the 2019 SEA Games, and we have great athletes that we'll be showcasing today.
For people who are new to Sambo, maybe you can tell us briefly what Sambo is and what we can expect from our competitions today.
Well, there are basically two forms of sambo. There's sports sambo and there's combat sambo. And combat sambo you can think of as a sport version of mixed martial arts. So you're fully striking. Headbutts are also allowed.
Oh, wow.
You have takedowns, judo throws, and submissions. So a sports version of mixed martial arts. And then there's sports sambo, where it's all the grappling arts combined. So there's no striking, but it's a combination of judo, wrestling, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So all of the grappling arts combined. So those are the two forms of sambo that we'll be showcasing today.
Safe to say that our viewers are really going to enjoy our matches today. So
Hope so.
guys, stay tuned because Mark and I are going to call your matches for today for the Sambo competitions. Okay, so we are now in our first match of the day. And this is, of course, the Women's Martial Arts Festival here in Rizal Memorial Coliseum. And what we are watching right now, I believe, is sports sambo, right?
Yes, yes, this is
Mm-hmm.
sports sambo. They're not wearing gloves, shin guards, or headgear. So
Mm-hmm.
right now they're jockeying for position. They're looking for a possible takedown or a throw so they can score.
And you are watching Amber Arcelia going against Mizzy Dangiwan. Now, Mark, in this kind of like, sort of like battling for superior position,
Yes.
what does one look for in terms of like holds or like positioning of the hands?
Well, in sports sambo, it's a nice arm throw right there,
Mm-hmm.
judo arm throw, which she did score for, and now she's looking to get back control and possibly a pin, but another stand up by head referee Coach Ace. So I mean, really it depends on the background of the athlete. If they have a wrestling background, then they might
Mm-hmm.
go for a double leg takedown or a single leg takedown. But if they have a judo background, maybe they'll go for an arm throw, just like the arm throw we just saw.
In that case, wherein the blue immediately was able to gain balance or stand up immediately, does that constitute a point against her?
You get points for throws, for clean throws or takedowns that expose the back.
Oh,
So
okay.
similar to the sport of wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
you get points for back exposure. So right there, she flipped her opponents to her back and she scored immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the cleaner the throw or takedown, the more points will be given by the referee.
And how long do you have to keep that hold
Next match
of
would
like
be between Princess
position
Cortez
being on
and
top?
Jenny
So
Espanyol.
right now
Please
she's
stand.
actually pinning her opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Red is pinning blue on her back and scoring points. For a 10-second pin, you'll receive 2 points, and if you go for 20 seconds, you'll receive 4 points total.
Oh wow, pretty
So,
significant.
so yeah, very significant.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can pin your opponent for 20 seconds total, you receive 4 points. So she just won a 8-0
Winner, Red
via
Team,
a throw
Amber
and
Arcilla.
a 20-second pin at the end there.
Wow, amazing.
So pinning your opponent, essentially controlling your opponent on the ground is prioritized and very important.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mark, I understand. Before being a sambo athlete, you were a wrestler, right?
Yes, yes, I was a
How's
wrestler.
that transition like for you?
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about earlier, Sambo is a combination of all of the grappling arts. So
Mm-hmm.
you can wrestle, you can do judo, and on the ground, you need to be versed in submissions or Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I found a way to utilize my wrestling in Sambo, but I also needed to learn how to defend and
Right.
have some judo attacks because
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of high level judo fighters that enter Sambo. And if you just come from a pure wrestling background, the judo element can pose problems because you are wearing a gi
Yeah.
in Sambo,
Mm-hmm.
which you don't have in wrestling. In wrestling, you only wear the singlet
Mm-hmm.
uniform. But in combat sambo or sports sambo, you wear a gi top and shorts, which is the traditional uniform. So definitely you have to be well versed and familiar with both wrestling and judo if you
On
want to
deck,
be
on
successful
red,
in sambo.
Princess Cortez. On
Very,
blue,
very
Jenny Espanyol.
interesting
Our referee
transition,
is
but it
Silky
gives
C.
people somewhat like an idea that even if they're from wrestling, they can try sambo,
Definitely,
right?
absolutely. Wrestling is a great base for sambo, but it's also important to train in judo and the other arts as well, because it is a combination of all of the grappling arts.
Mm-hmm. And right now we are seeing Princess Cortez
Yes, in red.
in red and Jenny Espanol in blue.
Yes.
That was a quick,
Quick double leg attempt, and
right?
she's Princess is trying to sprawl and get her hips back, and a reset by referee Sydney, one of our champions actually.
And Sydney, I believe, was one of the first champions able to give medals for the Philippines in
Yes,
Sambo, right?
yes, absolutely. Sydney's definitely one of the best to ever come out of the Philippines.
Hmm. Now, for the red, for the player in red, Cortez, what does she need to do for someone who's really, really aggressive in taking down the legs as Espanyol?
Well, right now the score is still 0-0. There were two takedown attempts, but
Mm-hmm.
since there was no action, similar to the sport of wrestling, since there was no action
Mm-hmm.
and the takedowns were failed takedowns, there were no points awarded. But here we had a sweep, so Princess has scored and is looking for a pin
Mm-hmm.
to score more points.
And I believe whenever you have to reset the match whenever
No, when there's no action.
when there's no
Yes, yes,
action.
that's a common
Okay.
theme with judo, especially
Mm-hmm.
when they hit the ground. Um, Also with the sport of wrestling and sambo, of course. If there's no action on the ground, the
Right.
ref will give you maybe around 10 seconds
Mm-hmm.
to make something happen. And if there's no action, they'll reset you back to a neutral position on the feet.
Very, very systematic.
Yes,
The
that's very
point system,
systematic.
right?
Yes, yes. And tiring for the athletes too. To always,
Definitely.
I guess to be viewer friendly, so they're always engaging in action
Right.
on the feet.
Exactly. Do you
Next bout would be
do you
between
think
Mario
we
Mariano and
Oh, and
Filipinos?
a very
Jessica
nice
Cos.
arm throw
Guys,
Wow,
55
from
yeah.
Princess, and
kilograms,
that should,
combat
yeah,
sambo.
that should
Please
close the
prepare.
match. I believe that's it.
Is that what you call a perfect throw?
Yes, perfect throw. That was
Right.
very clean. Nice, yeah, great job by Red, by Princess.
Hmm. So, Princess
Winner,
Cortez
Red
right
Sambo Team,
there
Princess Cortez.
is the winner of this match against Jenny Espanyol in the
Next bout,
54
on red, Marian
kilogram
Mariano. On blue,
category.
Yes.
Jessica Cos. Please prepare.
And our next match is, wow, this is interesting. This is in combat sambo
Okay, our first match
already.
of Combat Sambo already.
Right.
This will be exciting then. As you can see, our contestants, they are wearing headgear.
Hmm.
So they have headgear, MMA gloves, and shin guards.
Now, I think competing for this is Mariano, and Jessica Cos, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Mariano is also one of our SEA Games medalists, I believe.
Yes, and one of the very best on our sambo team. She's also an Olympian.
Oh,
She
wow.
is also an
Marian
Olympian.
Mariano. On blue,
Yes,
Amazing.
Jessica
she's a
Cos.
fantastic athlete, and definitely this is going to be an very explosive bout. Actually,
Oh, wow.
her opponents also comes from a very strong team from
Mhm.
Catalan.
Right.
Catalan fighting systems from
Mhm.
their gym, so this is going to be an explosive, action-packed bout for sure.
And I think Filipinos can transition well to Sambo because we also love MMA.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, uh, as Filipinos, we already excel in MMA, and
Mhm.
combat sambo is
Calling
very
on
similar to
Jessica
MMA.
Cos.
Right.
You know, it's just about you can really think of combat sambo as a sport and point version, a point
Mhm.
scoring version of mixed martial arts because there's no 3 rounds. It's one full round. You have resets like a
Mhm.
wrestling match or a judo match. So you can think of it as a point and sport version of mixed martial arts fighting.
Right. Very, very interesting. But of course, we are still waiting for the match to
To begin, I think
resume.
we're waiting for Marianne's opponent.
Hmm. Now, Mark, in wearing, uh, sorry, so there are different sambo styles, and of course, we just mentioned that we are going to see combat sambo, which uses both headgear and gloves. And of course, Mark, being a member of the Pilipinas Sambo Federation, it's relatively a young federation, right?
Yes, yes, it is, definitely. It's a young federation, but we definitely have a bright future. Um, I do believe it's that as Filipinos, we always excel at combat sports, and
Mhm.
Sambo is a great full
Minus
contact
54
combat sport with
kilograms.
two
Combat
avenues,
Sambo.
combat
On red,
Sambo and
Marian
sports Sambo.
Mariano.
So
On blue,
definitely.
Jessica
Oh, and
Cos.
our match is about to begin.
Yes.
Our referee for this match is Mr. Ace Larida.
Excuse me, this is not Marianne's opponent from Catalan Fighting Systems. This is another opponent.
Mhm.
I think that will be later today. Okay, and Marianne goes for a single leg takedown, and she catches it.
Hmm.
I believe
Now,
that's 4 points.
oh, because she was able to like
To
drop
take
her.
her straight to her back, yes.
Okay.
Let's see what Coach Ace scored that as. Yep, 4 points. So right now, Marianne's grabbing her and looks for a sweep and scores again. See, this is the judo aspect of it, where they can grab the gi tops and really jockey for position. So you have the choice to go for the legs and go for a traditional wrestling tackle, or also grab the gi top and go for a judo throw.
Although a while ago, what you can't do, I believe, here is you can't pull guard, right? Or you can.
You can, but you have to make something happen right away. And if you
Right.
go straight to your back, you can get in trouble.
Very risky move
Yes, yes, very
indeed.
risky move.
Because in jiu-jitsu, right, it's a move that can actually land you in a superior
Yes, yes.
position.
And a lot of people do that as part of their strategy.
Hmm.
Okay, so 5-0 from Marianne.
Next
Looking
match will
to
be
close out
between
the
Casey
match.
Tolosa and Leia Kimba. Sport
Right
Sambo
now,
minus
she's
80 kilograms.
and a
Please
nice
prepare.
sweep to a pin on top.
Now, whenever the referee stops or sort of like holds the action, did you find it when you were competing to be sort of like because it's different than MMA?
That MMA, right? No,
You
exactly.
always look to finish, right?
Yeah, to be honest, sometimes it's a little frustrating, but I was telling you earlier how when I was in Korea and I fought a Mongolian, I rocked him.
Hmm.
I hurt him with punches. Then I took his back and I was going for the rear naked choke, and then we got stood up right away after. And it was a little frustrating because I was in such a dominating, controlling
Right.
position. And then I ended up losing the match via he threw me
Mhm.
twice after that. So there is definitely a rule
Winner,
difference from
Red Dean,
MMA
Marian
and some
Mariano.
adjustment that needs to be made if you are coming
Please
from a pure
prepare
MMA
minus
background
80
as I
kilograms.
did.
Casey Tolosa
For sure. And now,
and
as we can see,
Leia Kimba.
Marian Mariano won that match.
Yes, I believe she scored 8-0 for the win. Just great control and takedowns from Marianne.
So if there are two perfect throws or clean throws, that would constitute
On deck, minus 80
sort of like a
kilograms.
knockdown
On red,
kind
Yes,
of.
Casey
yes. So,
Tolosa.
so for
On
combat
blue,
sambo,
Leia
you
Kimba.
actually do not score points for striking.
Right.
You can only win via striking in combat sambo if it's a clean knockout and your opponents can no longer continue.
I
So you
see.
do not get points for striking like other sports, like taekwondo or karate, for example.
Hmm.
So the point system comes really from the throws, the takedowns, the pinning, and
Hmm.
from the submission. Well, no points from the submission, but you can also finish the match via submission.
Right. Has it ever happened
Women's Martial
wherein
Arts
the
2022
opponent was
is brought to
so
you
hurt
by
with the strikes
Philippine
that he
Sports
was
Commission
unable to
and
continue?
Oh,
RSO.
absolutely, because they are wearing headgear, but they also are using MMA gloves, which are
Right.
only 4 ounces.
On red,
So
Definitely.
it's definitely a lot
In
easier to do
blue,
damage
Leia
with smaller
Kimba.
gloves.
Our
And
referee for this match
head
is
kicks
Mr.
are
Ace
allowed,
Larida and
knee
side
strikes
referee
are
Jeremy
allowed,
Velasquez.
elbows are allowed, headbutts are also allowed in combat sambo,
Oh wow.
which is one of the things that's different from the sport of MMA. Headbutts are illegal in MMA,
Right.
but in combat sambo, headbutts are allowed. So you do see a lot of knockouts um, in combat sambo.
Now you're seeing Casey Tolosa versus Leia Kimba. Casey's in red and Leia Kimba
With a
is in
nice
blue.
arm throw attempt, but Red spun through it and countered
Hmm.
and did not give up back points.
In
But
that case, there's no point
I
garnered,
I believe she may have scored,
but
but
not
not
4 points.
full points, just for for an attempted throw or a close throw. And now Red going for a takedown.
Now, in this case, wherein they're both kneeling and grappling for a better position, and That's what I'm gonna ask. And nothing happens. The referee will
The referee will
immediately
really
reset.
stand them up, and the stop clock, the clock
Right.
gets stopped. So
Oh.
that's why it can be exhausting, even though it is only one round. The time does get stopped for every reset and when there's no action. So it really does push the pace, and
Right.
they're encouraging an action-packed match
After all, you only have a few minutes to.
to really make something happen. Okay, so I think the score is still 0-0. So I think she did not score for that arm throw because she didn't give up her back. Oh, and there we had a headlock,
Next
headlock
bout,
of
please
sorts,
referee.
takedown,
Amber
which I believe
Arcilla
she
and
scored
Princess
for,
Cortez.
but she did not get pinning points there. But both of these girls seem quite evenly matched.
Also in, I think, physically,
Yes,
right?
yes, it looks like it.
Now, Mark, does height matter in sambo?
It definitely can, but it's really up to the fighter, the athlete, how they use it. Similar to boxing,
Right.
if you're a really tall boxer, you can have that reach advantage, especially for combat sambo. You'll have that reach advantage with striking, where you can throw kicks and be way out of range if your opponent's much
Right.
shorter. But also for sports sambo, um, if you're tall, it can work both ways, I guess. If your opponent is much shorter than you, they can get in on your legs and,
Definitely.
tackle you with a lower center of gravity. But also, if you're tall, there are some tricks and takedowns and throws that you can utilize having that longer frame. So really, it depends on the athlete. But especially for combat sambo, when you have that reach advantage because of the striking element, that's when it really becomes important.
But then again, once you close the distance, right,
Exactly, exactly. And
doesn't matter.
if you get thrown too, because in sambo really the priority of the points and the scoring is with the throws and the submissions.
Right.
So
I think right now we are going to be joined by another woman athlete and commentator, Mickey Santos. Mickey, hi, Mickey.
hello, Mickey.
So Mickey's actually from volleyball.
Nice to meet you, Mickey.
Now, what are we seeing here, Mark?
Right now, blue uh, is up 1-0, and yeah, it looks like quite an even bout so far. They've both been exchanging arm throws, but both of them have been spinning out of it. And
Right. Now, as you can see, both of them have pretty solid bases, right?
yes, yes, definitely.
Does the match ever get boring when there's no takedown?
It really depends on the athletes. I mean, even if there's no takedown, if they're really going for it aggressively and trying desperately to score,
Right.
it can definitely be exciting.
Wow, amazing base also by these two women athletes.
Yeah, definitely both, you could see they both have a low center of gravity, strong legs, strong base, and they're having trouble getting clean takedowns on each other.
Now, when you use your leg like that, Mark, that is a sweep, right?
She was going for a
Or
judo
trip.
throw, judo trip or throw with her leg, and using the gi top to throw her upper body and twist it. But I think they're both getting a little tired right now, especially at the end of the round. You have 20 seconds left, and
I think frustration also sets in, right?
definitely. So let's see if Blue, if Kimba can hold on to her lead.
Oh. Now, interesting, Mark, because in wrestling, you don't have any gi to hang on to,
Yes, yes.
right? So does that make it a little easier to do takedowns in sambo just because you have like the key to hang on to?
Winner, blue
Well,
gi,
I mean, that's
Leia
really the
Kimba.
judo element of sambo with the gi, when you can use the
Please
gi
prepare.
to twist and
Minus 54
to throw
kilograms
your
Right.
sport
opponent.
sample.
But if you come
In
from a
blue,
wrestling background
Princess
like myself,
Cortez.
then you can
In
really
red,
tackle the
Amber
legs with a single
Arcilla.
leg takedown, and you know, you really have to just I guess get used to using the gi and how to navigate with the gi if you come from a pure wrestling background.
Right. So right here, I think we have our winner in the blue corner,
Yes, in the blue corner
and our winner.
via 1-0.
Yes,
So it was a close match, but
it's a very close match.
she took the win there.
So that is Leia Kimba winning that match of a sport sambo.
And I believe we're another sports sambo. We're gonna have another sports sambo match right now.
Now, Mark, do you do both sport sambo and combat sambo?
Well, I won gold in the Sea Games for combat sambo, but for next year's Asian indoor martial arts games, I'll be competing in sports sambo
Oh wow,
because they don't have my weight class for combat sambo. That's really the main reason
the main
why.
reason.
I think the only weight class they have is under 60 kilos
Oh,
for
okay.
combat sambo, like 57 kilos, and that's way too light for me. I haven't weighed that since, you know, since ninth grade in high school.
Oh,
So, so without chopping, I wouldn't be able to make that weight without chopping off a leg or something.
We would
So
like to acknowledge Mr.
I will be
Executive
transitioning
Vice
to
for
sports
fighting
sambo
on World
for the
Sambo
Asian Indoor Games next year.
Okay,
But
wow.
usually I compete in combat sambo because that's my base combat sambo from my MMA background. So I can punch and kick.
Right. And now we are seeing, of course,
On
Sydney
minus
Tangkontian.
54 kilograms sport sambo. In red, Amber
As our
Arcilla.
ref, our champion
In
Sydney
blue, Princess
will be
Cortez.
refereeing Princess in her second match of action. She just, I believe she was our first or second match earlier.
Yeah, this is the thing about amateur, also because you get to compete multiple times a day.
Sometimes you don't have that much time to rest in
Right.
between. And especially if you have a long match that goes the full distance, you know, you just go to the back, stretch a little bit, and, you know, 15 minutes later you can be out there. Oh, and it looks like Princess just got scored on. I believe Arcilia is up by 1 point. And Arcilia going for another double leg takedown, but Princess sprawls. And right now Princess is defending well with underhooks and trying to control her head with a front headlock. And a reset. Back to action.
No, you can't do a headlock on a standing position, can you?
A headlock from the standing position. There are head throws that you can do
Oh,
from the
okay.
standing position and torque and throw your opponents. But you would have to snap their head down to get them into that position.
Oh,
So you'd have to be quite
see.
physical to get there. This is a good match so far. Both athletes going at it. Princess looked for a sweep there because Arcilia was going for a takedown, and Princess tried to use her momentum against her. And now Princess looking for an armbar because she lost the position and was on her back. So referee Sydney gave her some time to work from her back, but the submission was incomplete, so they are reset again.
That is
Quite
right-
exhausting.
right. And also, you only have
Ashley
Yeah, like
a
really
certain
about
amount of time.
about 10 seconds, I'd say, on average, to make something happen. If the referee sees that nothing's happening, you're gonna get stood up right away. So it's yeah, it definitely pushes the pace and can get quite tiring if you're out there.
So at this point,
Yeah, at this point,
Arcilia is, well,
yeah,
leading.
Arcilia is pulling pulling ahead, and Princess really needs to make something happen with just over 2 minutes left.
Maybe a perfect throw.
Maybe a perfect throw. Oh, Princess did get a trip and went to mount, and now going for an armbar. If she completes this and gets the tap, that would be, oh,
Oh,
all right. There you have it. We were
you
just
caught
talking
it.
about
Nice call.
we were just talking about what she could do to win this match, and that was clutch from Princess. She was down 3-0 and got the armbar submission for the tap.
Beautiful submission just right before the
Yes,
bell,
yeah.
right?
Same as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you're down by points, and if you get the submission win, you will win the match.
Automatically win.
Automatically win.
So that was your winner for the 54 kilogram sport sambo. Princess Cortez winning against Amber Arcelia via armbar, right?
Ashley Kyung-an. In blue, Missy Dangiwan.
Okay, it seems like we have our upcoming match under the 54 kilogram sports sambo. Once again from the red corner, Ashley Jong-an and Nizzy Dangiwan from the blue. Okay.
We are back at Sports Sambo for another Sports Sambo match. Both girls are jockeying for position right now. Hand fighting and looking for the right grips to throw.
Now, in this kind of hand fighting, is there like a time limit as to how long you can hand fight? For example, that one.
Yeah, I believe Sydney just blew the whistle there to press the action.
Okay.
So she's urging them to be more aggressive and to make something happen. So right now they're back at it.
We can see that they're actually putting their heads together. So is there some... Oh,
Nice arm throw
yes,
from
nice
Blue
arm throw.
for back points and exposure.
Yes. But if ever those athletes try to put their head against each other, is there a reason behind that or what?
Really they're jockeying for position. So they're looking for a takedown, looking for a throw. And yeah, sometimes, you can have a clash of heads
Yes.
and headbutts.
Yes.
It does happen from time to time. That's why if you if you watch international sambo or wrestling competitions, sometimes you'll see guys with tape across, or judo competitions, they'll have white tape all the way
Yes.
around their head
Yes.
from headbutts or from ears. At the end of the day, it's still combat, full contact sport, so headbutts do happen sometimes.
So right now it seems as if Dang Iwan is ahead in the...
Yes, and I believe Red is going for a submission because she knows she's down on the scorecards. So she pulled guard there and is looking for an armbar because she knows she's down 4-0 and needs to make something happen.
You could see how the blue really protects her neck.
Yes,
for...
yes. Well, she's actually protecting her right arm because her right arm is the one that Red is trying to armbar.
Oh.
So she managed to pull herself out of the submission, and now they'll have a reset. So that was an unsuccessful armbar attempt by Red, and now they're back at it. Let's see how Red will adjust. She's still down by 4 points.
And then like in MMA, near submissions do not count here, right?
Yeah, near submissions do not count since the point scoring is black and white via pin hold or a submission where they tap,
Right.
or for combat sambo, a clean knockout.
Now in sambo, do you have violations as well? Like what are some of the most common violations in sambo?
To be honest, I'm actually at a bit of a blank right now, since headbutts are allowed. Oh, I guess okay, groin strikes, of course.
Groin
Groin
strikes,
strikes, you know.
of course.
But yeah, headbutts are allowed, which is a violation in many other sports. For combat sambo, headbutts are allowed. Groin strikes, um, small joint manipulation, like
Right.
twisting of the fingers.
Oh wow, it seems like our match is over.
Yes, via 8-0 for 2 clean throws. So what happened there was Dang Yiwan scored twice with 2 4-point throws. And if the score goes to 8, the match is automatically over. So via 8-0 for the win.
Next match will be AC Linya and AC Tolosa.
Just to recap on our previous match, who was Ashley Jong-an from the red corner and Nizi Dang-Yiwan from the blue corner. And for that
Minus 80
Mizzy
kilograms.
Dang-Yiwan was able to take the win. Coming up next is our 80 kilogram sports sambo, Aislinn Yap and Casey Tolosa.
Our referee is Mr. Chris
Hey.
Narida.
We met him a few times before.
Good to see you, good to see you.
I've interviewed you before the UFC fight as well.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. Okay na? Okay na? I can talk. All right,
Yes.
and welcome back here at the Women's Martial Arts Festival. My name is Lourdes Hernandez. Together with me is, of course, Mugen Mark Striegel and the White Dynamite. We call her the White Dynamite.
White Dynamite.
Yes.
You have the baby Dynamite here. We call her the White Dynamite.
Baby
She is
Dynamite and White Dynamite.
White
Nice.
Mickey Santos. Anyway, so far, Mark, we've been covering fights, and what brings you here at the Women's Martial Arts Festival?
Yeah, as a member of the Sambo national team, I'm here to support all of our female athletes for Sambo today. I think we have 20 bouts in a combination of
Yeah.
combat Sambo and sports Sambo. So right now we are having a sports Sambo bout.
And I gotta ask you this because, of course, I'm a huge MMA fan, and I'm a huge fan of you ever since your PXC days.
Thank you.
Been monitoring your fights, man. This guy's a killer. But if you're a purist on martial arts, if you see Sambo, you see a lot of Sambo in Mark's game. And how big is Sambo is to you in contributing to your overall MMA skills?
I mean, to be honest, I only started training in Sambo a few months before the SEA Games. So my base was in freestyle wrestling and amateur wrestling, and then in mixed martial arts. And then I picked up Sambo quite late, actually.
Okay.
But my wrestling base has definitely
Yeah.
helped translate and help my Sambo game. And now Sambo has become a huge part of my training for MMA. And the two definitely work very well together. And you could see that in the UFC with a lot of champion fighters. All the Russian champions like Khabib, Fedor Emelianenko, and Pride Fighting Championship. All of these Russian killers have combat Sambo backgrounds and transition very well into mixed martial arts.
And Mark, this is the thing. When we talk about martial arts, it's seldom we talk about women, but there is a big influx of women getting into martial arts for the past decade.
Yes, yes.
How do you feel that we have a dedicated event for women's martial arts?
I think it's fantastic. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's been about a decade. I think the Ronda Rousey era,
Yeah.
kind of chimed and started that all, And yeah, today this is this fantastic festival. And it's just great seeing a whole event dedicated to all of our Filipino athletes.
All right, and just on your screens right now, Yap is already leading by 1-0 over Tolosa. But this is the 80 kilogram division. But moving back, Mickey here has been, just observing, and she already wants to pick up a martial art. She's
Yes, of
already witnessing
course.
like a few martial arts. Mickey, do you think what things that you want to ask Mark in picking a startup martial art?
Oh, so basically, as we've seen the different sports that's being offered here at the Women's Martial Arts Festival, we see different martial arts like penchak silak, taekwondo, wrestling, and such. But for a woman like me, like for a beginner, what martial arts do you really suggest for me to take on to?
Yeah, I will always push Sambo and mixed martial arts, especially the grappling element of Sambo and MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially for self-defense for women.
Okay.
Because really, you know, if if it ever comes down to it, and you need to defend yourself as a woman, and a bigger male is grabbing a hold of you, the wrestling arts, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sambo, that's when it really comes into play, and it's very important to learn. So I definitely recommend Sambo, of course, and mixed martial arts, namely Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as a part of MMA.
That's great.
All right, and we will have more of Sambo action. Meanwhile, Yap won this match 9-0. And when we come back, more matches here at the 2022 Women's Martial Arts Festival. And we are back here at the 2022 Women's Martial Arts Festival. My name is Renzo Hernandez. Together with me is the Mugen Mark Striegel and White Dynamite, who will be battling Mugen later this this day.
Yes, yes, we're gonna have
we're
a
trying to set it up.
crash
But
course in Sambo.
anyway, in front of you right now is our Celia on the red and the Young An on the blue. That's just the start of the match right here. And again, this is Sambo. This is you know just Mickey. You already want just a few matches that you watched,
Yes, of course.
and you already wanted to get in that ring.
Yes, I want to be thrown by none other than the Mark Striegel, right?
Let's go, let's go. Sambo crash course time.
But yeah.
Anyway, Mark, when we approach Sambo, of course, what is the usual chess match before the matches? I mean, do you check the opening on the legs or on the top? What is the mentality when you start up a match in Sambo?
I mean, it really depends on what form of Sambo too, right? Because right now we're watching sports Sambo, so this is just all grappling. They're going for trips, like judo tackles there, this attempted arm throw right here.
Yeah.
But there's also wrestling involved, so you have to watch out for leg tackles too. But if you're doing combat Sambo, which I normally compete in, then you also have to be wary of strikes and headbutts and knees and high kicks and elbows. So those are the two main types. Those are the two types of Sambo, combat Sambo and sports Sambo.
Okay, the red Arcelia is already leading by 7.
Yeah, so if she scores one more point, she's gonna win this bout.
That's a quick score.
Yeah, very quick score. Yeah, she's been dominating.
Okay, on the top
So
right now
right
is
now-
Arcelia.
And I believe that's it
That's it.
there for the
That's
other
how
takedown.
fast it is. It's a shutout by Arcelia, and she wins this match.
There's actually one, I wonder if we'll see it today. There's actually one throw that you can do in Sambo that automatically wins the match. It's an 8-point throw. If you throw your opponent or take down your opponent and they fall flat on their back and you're above them still standing, then you will automatically win the match.
Oh, interesting. So you also need to have that stare down. After
Yes, you need to look
throw
cool
them.
afterwards so you can get that cool photo op moment. Yes,
You
yes.
you gotta get the social media hits for that
yes,
one.
yes, definitely.
Anyway, Mark, can you explain the gear here? One is wearing shoes, one is not. Is that an option?
I think Blue may have just forgotten her shoes.
All right. Okay. Because I watched UFC the first years of UFC.
Yes, yes.
One was wearing boots and he was not allowed to kick. So
Yes, yes. In the early UFC days, uniform was kind of anything goes. But the regular Sambo uniform, you are required to wear, for sports Sambo, you're required to wear your Sambo shorts, red or blue, gi top, and shoes.
there you go. But
And for
anyway,
combat Sambo with gloves, shin guards, and headgear.
going back to those UFC days, early UFC days, I don't know if Mickey is already alive back then. But it was like getting a VHS tape of early UFC days is like golden. You can't
Yep,
wait
yep.
to go home and watch it.
Yes, I remember those days. Those were
It's like
the
going to
Royce
the
Gracie days.
Yeah,
when it
Royce
was
Gracie days.
bootleg videos and yes, something we'd never seen before at that time.
Okay,
something
on
else.
your on your screens right now, on the red that is Espanyol and Dangiwan. On the blue, early looks like an early point here. That is Dangiwan. If I'm not mistaken, Dangiwan scored that.
Yes.
Am I right? Yeah.
And right now,
Oh, Espanyol
Espanyol
scored it.
going for a takedown and a scramble. Let's see how coach referee Ace scores that exchange there.
But you know what? For Mickey, who's trying to get into the sport, 10 minutes of grappling is already, it's like an hour of running.
Oh,
Absolutely.
interesting.
Absolutely, it's exhausting. It
It's
really is.
exhausting.
And especially if you're not used to it, it's muscles that you've never used before, and yeah, totally can be totally exhausting.
So
Now,
if you,
striking muscles are different from grappling muscles.
I always tell people that if you want to lose weight fast, go for martial arts. I mean,
Absolutely,
an hour of martial arts is like 5 hours of running.
definitely, definitely. And it's, in my opinion, of course I'm biased, but it's more exciting than
There you go.
than just running.
It's more exciting than running and getting chased by a dog or whatever.
And then even more exciting than when you're winning. When you're winning, that's the most exciting part.
Okay, Espanyol is leading 6-2. A few more points, and she gets this match. And
Yes.
what does the blue fighter needs to do here?
Oh, well, what
in
she's
order?
doing right there, she's going for the attack,
Okay,
trying to score a few more points to at least tie it up, and needs to make something happen here because, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
trying to inch in the gap right there.
Yes,
Scoring
yes.
is
All right,
Dangiwan,
6-4.
2 points, and two. It's a 2-point lead by Espanyol. Let's see if Dangiwan can create something here.
And still plenty of time on the clock. So,
Yeah, 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go.
so I think it's anybody's game at this point. Let's see.
I'm actually curious about example for beginners like me. How do
Yeah.
we determine if a point is being awarded to a player or such?
Well, Coach Ace. Sorry, I keep saying Coach Ace because he is our coach, but today he's the referee. Referee Ace. He
Okay.
will signal with his hands there. So right now he's awarding 2, and he has red on his right sleeve and blue on his left sleeve. So they do have that coding, and then they'll look at the other side referees on the panel, on the sides of the mat here, and they'll all agree, and then the score will go up on the
Okay,
board.
so does this mean 2 points?
Yes, that means 2
2
points.
points.
Yes.
Okay, for 1 point only.
Yes,
one
and they
change.
do a real fancy, cool one for when it's that 8-point throw, which I can't remember what they do, but they do something really cool with their hands.
Something
Yeah.
fancy with their
Something
hands.
fancy. Yep. I should know, but I can't remember at the moment.
But was there a moment where you did that 8-point takedown in your career?
I haven't won an international competition yet with that 8-point takedown. I have scored 4 points many times, but not 8-point yet. So I'm gonna have to check that off my bucket list soon. Yeah.
Anyway, Espanyol with that score, and it's now a 4-point lead. Just one more point, and we have a minute and 47 seconds to go before this match ends. So we may see Espanyol finishing this early, and Dangiwan needs to catch up, and she has a minute and 30 left to create something.
Quite a physical match. Both girls pushing at the pace and
And
some
they're
quick
maximizing the
scrambles.
time.
Definitely, they're just going after it, which is great to see.
Well, for also Mickey right now, you see women that are grappling, but there's a lot of mental thinking going on
Yes.
inside those two heads of theirs. It's really a chess match when you get to that level.
Absolutely,
Yes. You need to have that force, endurance, explosiveness, and
absolutely.
the ability to think outside of the box, to think and assess what your opponent is going to do.
Yeah, and just quick decision making on the fly, with thousands of repetition and muscle memory. For all of these moves that they're trying to pull off.
And also, you need to have that right angle, right?
Yes,
For the
yes.
footsteps and
Definitely.
for the shifting the center of the gravity.
Against someone who's trying to not let you do that. So that's the hard part. Anyone can do a demo on a dummy against someone who's letting you do it, or a training dummy. But to do that against someone who's really trying to not let you pull off that move and trying to resist, therein lies the difficulty of combat sports.
But these women are really breaking it. I mean, the chess match between both of them,
Oh,
especially
definitely. They're going
Espanyol,
after
trying
it
to
right from the
finish.
beginning.
And at this point of time in the match, Dangiwan already saw everything that she Espanyol is dishing out and defending it. But there you go.
10-4, so that's a 6-point lead. I believe she needs 2 more points to close
Yeah,
out the
2
match.
more points.
An 8-point lead for the finish. So if Espanyol can score 2 more points,
And
she
she
should
has
be able to get the win.
30 seconds to do it. Still a good time for her and
See,
still a
or
good
she could
condition. There you go.
see that's the difference there. Or she could have just coasted out the 20 remaining seconds for the lead because she's up 10-4, but she chose to shoot instead and go for another takedown to score more points. So you have to admire that they're both really pushing the action.
And yeah, she's trying to finish the match
the
instead of
match.
just relying on the
On the
clock.
points and
Yeah.
just running out the clock. Definitely impressive heart.
6 seconds to go. It looks like the clock will run
2,
out and
1.
Espanyol will win this unless a miracle 8-point count happens.
For the cool signal finish, yes.
Anyway, with that, Espanyol wins it.
Very nice, great
Very
match.
exhausting match where you can see on your
Yes.
on her face, like
Grueling match.
how can I not finish this lady?
Right?
That's what we're talking about. Endurance.
Yes,
right?
definitely. I wonder if they have to compete again later. Let's see if they're able to
Okay.
recover.
Mark, this is the thing with a format like this, you get to have like 3 to 4 matches in a day.
Yeah.
And how do you recover in between? I mean, what is it like for a fighter that is in between these matches? What do they go through? Because you're gonna fight in a few hours, in a few
Yeah, sometimes
minutes.
it's shorter. Yeah, sometimes it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, wrestling, amateur wrestling tournaments, sambo, judo. They all have that format where you can have 3, 4, 5 matches per day. So definitely it can be exhausting. And for me, I like to bring a pillow so I could take a nap in the bleachers or wherever I am. So I can at least try to get some power naps in between the matches to just recover a little bit.
But anyway, if you're watching right now, this is the Women's Martial Arts Festival, but this is a demo. So
Yes.
these are males.
Yes, these are
so
males
you
showing
might
our demo
you
right
might think
now.
that are they female? No, they're male. Okay, so this is a
Oh.
demo. So this is more intense. These are males. Mickey, you gotta take notes on this one.
So these are both
Okay.
of these are they are national athletes. Red is both of them are actually my training partners, and Blue just competed in the World Championships for Sports Sambo, I believe just a week ago.
Ooh. So if there's one part of the body that you're about to, grab in Sambo, what would it be that would give you the most leverage?
The most leverage. Well, whenever you throw, you really have to use your hips and legs. That's the important part. The power comes from bringing in your hips and legs. That's where your force comes from. Your hips, your legs, and your core. So whether you go for an upper body throw or a leg tackle, you need to use your core strength to do that move.
Oh. So also, wrists are also.
Wrist, yes, definitely. You can grab the uniform, the guy's wrist, and use that to throw him, or you can grab the collar up here. Anything on the gi, behind the gi, you can grab behind. You can grab their belt and use that to throw. It really depends on what kind of attack you want to use and what your base is, if it's wrestling or judo.
Okay. So also, I have another question. What's the most efficient way to make your opponent off balance?
The most efficient way to make your opponent off balance. There are a lot of things you can do. You can snap their head. You can paw their head with your hand, and that'll get them to,
To
Yeah,
hold
but
their head?
Yeah, their head will go
not
down
that
and they'll have to
snap
reset.
that we're taking. I mean,
That snap,
uh, you can kill people if you really snap the neck.
just,
I mean,
just snap their head down. Or you can grab their uniform and pull them from side to side. So they have to shuffle to kind of catch their balance and then get them while they're adjusting and attack the other leg, for example. So
okay, that demonstration was, where we were talking about these women need a breather before they take on another match, and Espanyol is gonna fight again.
wow.
Another
Wow,
mentoring match.
what a
Let's
warrior!
see.
And that was a grueling
So
match.
they need
she
that
just
demo for
For the
Espanyol
breather.
to rest a bit.
Too
and
bad it was
she
a
will
short
get
demo.
to another 4-minute match here.
Here we go. Let's see how good her endurance is.
You know,
'cause that
you
was a
mark.
pretty tough
This is
match.
the thing for us who knows martial arts.
Yes.
4 minutes of sambo is like a very long time.
Oh yeah.
Is it-
4 minutes
Yeah.
of grappling. 4 minutes of high-level grappling where you're scrambling and really attacking and countering.
It
Is
feels like
exhausting.
30 minutes when you're there.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. Let's see how she does.
So this is Espanyol.
Oh,
Very
Immediately,
aggressive early on.
wow.
You know,
I like her style.
is this a momentum thing that she's trying to do? I mean, she came from a match, and she's fighting again. Is that something that hey, I'm still hot. I'm still on
the
this
engine's
momentum.
still
Yeah, I think it could be, especially if she has the stamina. Well, you got to have the endurance and have the trained stamina to be able to use that momentum even, right? But if she does have that, which it looks like she does, then I would do the same thing. I would stay warm and just go straight to the next match versus cooling down and then trying to warm up again.
In Sambo, is it eligible or is it possible for you to pull the hair of your opponent? No.
No, you cannot pull the hair.
Okay, so
No,
that's
no, no,
one
no.
of the
That's only early
limitations.
UFC rules. Yes, yes.
It's
UFC
like
1, 2, and 3.
it's like for guys who have no hair, that's quite an
Yes,
advantage.
yes.
And
Something to grab.
Yep, yep.
look at that strength by Espanyol on the top, but okay,
And blue was looking for a reverse triangle there.
yes. And she scored on that one. It's a good counter. Uh, Espanyol was the more aggressor, but
Oh.
Diong
Wow,
An,
she did score with that reverse that triangle off of bottom. Wow, that is quite a rare technique. So red was trying to go for the pin on top to score points, but she got submitted with a triangle from that side mount position. So
Okay.
definitely did not expect that.
so fatigue was a factor.
I
you
think so. I think so.
It's, it's like when they draw lots in the tournament, you wish that you're the first fighter and your and your rest is quite longer.
Definitely, definitely.
It's like the early UFC days, 3 fights in a day.
In one night.
That was intense, man.
Seems like Cortez is trying to do something here. Oh,
And yep, a counter.
That is Dagiwan on the red and the Cortez is on the blue.
Okay. And Cortez managed to score some points.
It was not counted by our referee. So
I think it's still.
there you
I
go.
think it's still gonna come up. They have.
Yeah, there, it's 2 over. It's already 4.
Already 4 now for that second one.
Early lead here by Cortez.
And for back control for Cortez, looking for an armbar, but ran out of time. That is one of the exhausting parts of Sambo. You only have about 10 seconds to make something happen when you do hit the ground. So different from the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where you really have time to work on the ground
Okay,
and make a submission happen.
With 3 minutes to go, 4-0 is the count. If you're in there, if you're in the mind of Dangiwan,
Yes.
this is already a huge lead.
Yeah.
How do you mentally recover from an early lead by your opponent?
Well, you just have to stick to your game and try different things and start scoring points with whatever your game may be. If you can score one big 4-point throw, then you can automatically tie it up.
Look at that. Cortez is dominating this match
Yeah,
so
Cortez
far.
already
And
scored again.
it's like everything that Dangiwan tries to enter, she already knows. She can already telegraph what she's trying to do.
Yeah, so she's really having a tough time with Cortez. Let's see if she can make adjustments.
Still, the strength of
so
Cortez is
Dang
there.
Yewan looked for an arm throw there, and Cortez just the strength, just posted out and
Yeah.
spun around. So yeah, Cortez looks to be the stronger, the more physical one of the two.
And Dangiwan already is trying to, get to, get that throw in.
Yep, another throw,
throw
but
attempt, but
Cortez countered
yeah,
perfectly
Cortez
and spun
ca-
her whole body
easily.
around, so she didn't expose her back.
And I like the calmness of Cortez. She's just there,
Yeah, you could see the poise
Yeah,
on her face.
just thinking and thinking.
Yep. Just It's that calm, relaxed, stoic face.
And she knows it's coming.
Yep.
She already knows it's coming, and the balance of anticipating that it takes footwork and placing of your
Definitely.
body at the right time.
Yeah, you could see
Anyway,
Cortez's confidence
we
growing.
have the baby dynamite with us again.
Baby Dynamite back.
Yep.
Yeah, we're replacing the white dynamite.
Break. A short break for White Dynamite there.
Marika, you tried Sambo.
I actually tried something similar, luta libre.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah. Which is actually catch wrestling, right?
Yeah, it's a similar luta libre.
Mhm.
Has similar a little closer to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and luta libre came up around the same time. Both out of Brazil. I believe luta libre also out of Brazil.
Right.
Way back in the day, with a focus on leg lock submissions, especially.
Right.
And that is a easy win for Cortez. 8-0. With 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the clock. And she moves forward.
For another match, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that's her second bout already.
And with that, I think, do we have another demo or? Yeah, well, we have another match before for getting most of the fighters back here. But anyway, Mark, this is the thing. For the past quarter, the Philippines has been opening up. Are you looking forward to competing in 20? What's lined up for you in 2023?
Yeah, I'm excited to compete both in MMA and for Sambo. As a member of the national team, I'm really looking forward to it.
The Sea
Um,
Games.
Yes,
Yeah,
SEA
the Sea
Games,
Games.
in Cambodia, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in Cambodia. We'll try to be
The
there.
next SEA Games, yeah. Oh, great.
They said that the food is cheap and good.
Yes, yes.
Definitely.
Thailand and Cambodia both have great
Right.
food, for sure. So yeah, looking to get back in action for the SEA Games and the Asian Indoor Martial Arts Games I'll be competing in, and back to MMA, of course.
This is Kimba on the blue and Yap on the red. Both fighters, this is their second match of the day. Let's see about. This is an early, uh, it's a stare down on start with 30 seconds eliminated from the 4-minute clock, and still nothing happening for both fighters.
So both fighters still feeling each other
Yeah,
out
still
right now.
feeding each other out.
No one really committing to a big throw or takedown attempt yet. Let's see who draws first blood, I guess.
Who first risks. And
And I've
there
trained
you
with
go.
Yap.
Yap is trying to get that leg.
Yap is very physical and very strong.
And actually, she's quite bigger
Yes.
when you're
yes.
looking at it. But
Yeah, you can tell from
this
her
isn't
build.
absolute, right? This is same weight.
I believe they're the same weight, but
Right.
looks like Yap has more muscle mass and her frame's a little bigger.
Right.
And Yap is trying to get with the hands
Yap
of
goes
Kimba.
for a takedown attempt, but Kimba
Kimba is
sees it
very
coming.
hesitant to start her strategy right here.
I think
try
Kimba
to-
knows.
To
That,
feel what Yap is trying to do to her.
Yeah, they're still feeling each other out, and she's just trying to counter and see what Yap is gonna do.
Still no score for both fighters. 2 minutes and 24 to go. Approaching the midway mark. And here's some action.
And
But
an attempt, but Yap's base just too strong. and
too
did
strong for
not-
Kimba.
Did not budge at all.
If you're just stronger fighter like Yap, but let's go to the other side. If you're Kimba and you're facing a much stronger fighter, what is the thing that you're looking for to start some action?
And Yap went for a hip throw there, but Kimba did counter and spin nicely. If you're facing a stronger fighter, you have to use other facets to try to find an advantage. Oh, and a nice throw from Yap for, I believe, 4 points with that throw. Um, so you can use hopefully a speed advantage, endurance by pushing the pace. Anything to not get caught in that game of strength.
And Yap with that early 4-0 lead.
And Yap going for another throw there, but Kimba did.
She's trying to finish this match
I
early.
think so.
I think there's also the factor of trying to close in with the hips, right?
Yes, yes.
Like, I think Kimba is having a little bit of difficulty trying to put her hips in the right position.
Yeah, Kimba's mainly countering right now and
Mm-hmm.
hasn't really been too aggressive with her. Oh, right there, she made an attempt, but Yap looks just a lot more physical and a lot stronger than her. She's really having trouble controlling Yap's hips.
Less than a minute left in this match. Yap still leading 4-0. Looking good so far, not letting Kimba score any point at all. But anything can happen.
That is true.
Anything can happen still. This is still a long time, 40 seconds in our clock. But Yap is using that strength. But
Let's see if Yap will go for another 4-point throw.
you gotta admire Kimba. Her base is preventing Yap to control the match totally.
That is true. Yap did attempt, I think, about 3 throws um, that Kimba did spin out of.
She scored a point there. But,
Oh.
there you go.
And there you have it.
Another
That's-
perfect throw right
That's a
there.
Yes.
12-1. Yeah, I think she just. I'm gonna finish this. You scored a point. I'm gonna finish this
I
now.
think so. I think that point fired her up.
That
And she
frustrated
said,
her.
"Yep, no more."
No
I believe
more.
that's a judo throw, right?
Yep,
The
yep,
one
that
that
was
she
Yeah.
did.
Very clean. I believe
Beautiful
that's the
placement of the
Uchimata.
leg, actually.
I'm
Right?
not a judoka, but I believe that's a Uchimata throw. Yes. Yeah, beautiful placement of the leg and follow through.
There you go.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
But she's gonna be well rested as compared to other fighters
Yes.
moving forward to the next rounds.
Definitely. Oh, and Espanol is back
Yes,
for
but
match
this
number
time
3.
with the blue. Looks,
And her hair is still sweaty from
Yeah,
her
she-
previous 2 matches.
and
She's-
I
she
think
must-
Espanol is getting a fan out of Mark right now because of her tenacity.
Definitely. Yeah, she's just been going after it. Relentless. And again, going for the takedown.
Very
Very aggressive
explosive.
early on.
Very explosive, tough girl. Yes.
I think in this kind of like fast-paced match, you really can't telegraph your move, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What-
Even when you go for a takedown, you don't want to shoot with your arms out
Right.
too wide.
Yeah.
We call that in my where I came from in wrestling. We call that big bird when you're coming out like this. Oh, here I'm coming. So you really want to shoot, in a linear fashion with your arms straight in front of you.
Still no score with 30 seconds eliminated from our 4-minute mark.
A few nice sprawls. And let's see. All right.
In this case, Mark, for example, Espanol doesn't have her shoes.
Yes.
So is that okay? Like you don't have the complete
To be
gear.
honest, I'm not sure why she doesn't have her shoes. In an official sambo competition,
Right?
you
I
are
already
required.
asked him
Uh-huh.
that. It's like
Someone asked me earlier, yeah, and I said I think she just forgot her shoes.
Right.
So,
simple as
yes,
that.
Uh-huh.
yes.
But will
It's-
that carry a penalty or not
Um,
really?
In international competition, yes.
Right.
But for this match, yeah, I'm not sure why she doesn't have her shoes. To be honest,
I think she's much more comfortable with that. I
I
mean,
think so.
I mean, it's maybe her style. Arcelia scoring with an 8-0
Oh wow,
That was fast.
is
that was
instant
fast.
win,
Nice. I think the fatigue is setting in
Yeah.
for Espanol.
especially from the first match that she.
Yeah, the first match was
fought.
the most grueling, and
It, it
and
took
then-
out a lot of wind in her
Definitely.
game. Okay, so we have two intense fighters coming right here,
yep.
and Cortez. That is Cortez on the red.
Princess Cortez. In blue, Ashley Jordan.
Mark, you have any pick right here? So
Yeah,
we saw both fighters already. So you
I
may
think red,
all right.
actually, Cortez.
Cortez is your prediction to win.
Yes.
And she's already getting to work.
Yep, with a very nice arm throw. And now working from the top. But Blue looking to get an arm
Look
bar.
at that.
Right.
Look
Oh.
at that.
Almost had it fully extended, but
She muscled out of that.
she muscled out of it, no problem, and just stood up.
Poker
looking
face.
Stoic poker face. Like, what was
Right.
Like,
what was that? I'm okay.
No escape right there.
Yep.
Just muscling my way out of that
Yep, yep.
armbar.
but Diong An
Looks like Jong-an is really going for those
is
arm bars.
getting the
Going for
advantage here.
another
But
arm bar, yeah.
look at that counter by Cortez. It's already 4-0.
And still as stoic as ever.
In these kinds of fast-paced competitions, every after reversal, do you need to initiate your attack immediately? Especially you have just a few minutes to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on your opponent and what the openings are. You know,
Right.
you don't want to telegraph, and you don't
Exactly.
you don't want to, because if you attack too fast and you telegraph, you can open yourself up for counters. So it
Exactly.
really depends on the pace of the match and who your opponent is and your skills, your
Right.
attacking skills. But definitely, Blue is looking for an armbar to close, to hopefully end the match or close that 4-point lead right now from Cortez.
But Diong An, the lady in blue,
Yes.
she has some skills. I mean, it's you
Absolutely.
can see that
Trying to get the back right
it's
there.
not that polished, but you can see the potential that she can be someone someday
Yes,
with those
definitely.
skills.
You can see that
The
she
foundation is
well,
there.
and she is quite physical too.
It's just Cortez is much more prepared for any kind of attack like that. And
So right there we saw that
Wow.
Diong An pulled guard, right?
I think
Was
I
that a
don't know
pulled
if she
guard or a
pulled that.
sacrifice?
I think
Fall.
it was a takedown,
Oh.
and she just tried to go for an armbar at the
Cortez.
same time and score
Right.
off of her
yeah,
back.
Cortez with a shutout and 8-0 with 22
I wonder
minutes
if we'll
and
see
33.
some more facial expressions from
Right.
Cortez later, because she's
I
been
Much like
poker
Fedor
facing.
Emelianenko,
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly. She's
Even
been
after
poker
she wins,
facing
it's
through
like her
this.
game face.
Yes. Oh, and we are going to our second
Wow.
combat sambo bout.
And we
Of
are
today.
seeing Jelly
Yes.
Bolaong.
Yes, former URCC world champion. So this is going to be exciting.
And we are in for a treat. We are just waiting for both fighters to get in the ring right now.
I think you and Jelly have sort of like similar careers because you both are professional MMA fighters.
Yes, and then we have been crossing over to combat
Right.
sambo. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. I've actually never seen Jelly in sambo. I
Right.
haven't watched her train yet or compete. So this is going to be exciting for me.
So Bulaong is on the red while Margallo is on the blue. And we are very excited to see this 4 minutes of action.
All right.
So let's see here.
Inside leg by
By Jelly.
Margallo is opening on the jabs, but Bulaong,
Some spinning kick attempts from both of them, but still feeling each other out.
yeah, still no. Is there a point already?
No points.
No
because,
points. Okay.
No points from striking.
unless it causes
Unless
the
it's
opponent to be
A
down,
knockout.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Even if they get knocked down,
Right.
not necessarily points unless you can follow up and pin your opponent or
Oh.
submit after. So
All right.
even a knockdown you will not get points for.
So striking's mostly like setups only, right?
Yes, yes. Or yeah, just to set up or damage the opponent.
Jelly Bulaong
Going for
going for an armbar.
and a
And
nice
there you
go.
armbar. So a takedown to an armbar for a quick finish. Wow.
3 minutes and 18 left. Jelly Bulaong showcasing us why she is one of the
Beautiful.
famous names here at the Women's Martial Arts Festival, and good sportsmanship there as
Definitely.
well by Margallo. Let's break it down right here.
So
Bulaong getting the feet.
off of that spinning kick attempt. So caught the leg after that spinning kick attempt, turned it into a takedown, straight into side mount, and
She
took
already
the
got her
back
there.
and went straight for the armbar.
Seamless
Yeah,
transition
very nice
seems, right?
transition. All from a,
Putting
spinning,
that
a failed
leg
spinning
out.
kick.
Yeah, putting that leg, preparing for that arm bar. It's like, yeah, that's
Yeah, beautiful transition from striking all the way down into
And
a
Shelly
takedown
used
and
to be
submission.
also a Muay Thai national athlete,
Yes,
right?
yes, correct.
And a wrestler. So just putting two elements
Yes,
together.
Yes.
Oh,
This is going to be an
wow.
explosive bout.
Really?
This is definitely going to be
All right,
an action-packed fight.
our game announcer is also hyping this as the main event.
Mariano's like one of our most successful female sambists, right?
Yes, and she is an Olympian for I believe wushu
Yeah.
or sanda wushu.
Amazing. Which is interestingly similar also to sambo, right? In the sense that there are takedowns and
Yes,
wushu.
there are takedowns. I think there are no submissions in wushu,
Right.
but you do have the takedowns. Sanda, you also have takedowns. Sanda and wushu, both originally from China, but you do have takedowns in both.
Right.
Yeah, this is going to be an explosive match. I'm very excited about this one. And Marianne's also fighting in Bicol in Warriors Fighting Championship.
Oh, wow.
On the 26th, I believe, this month. So she's.
I'm being invited on that event. Hopefully I can come.
It's a great event. It's a great show. Definitely recommend.
Okay,
going
Joe
there if you
Marie
can make it
Torres
out.
and Mariano. This is
This is an
this is
exciting
it.
one. This is it. This is going to be a great fight.
Of course, Jo Marie Torres, also a professional MMA fighter.
Yes, I believe Jo Marie fought in one championship.
She did,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, so-
In the atomweight division.
So
and
this is going to be an
knocked
explosive
Rika
bout
Ishige out with
between
a
two
rear
experienced
naked
fighters.
choke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Both fighters throwing heat already. Nice leg kick and counter overhand and a scramble, and Marianne takes the top position. Now is
Very heavy
scoring with
top.
pin.
Mariano getting on that advantage on top
She's
of Jo
scoring
Marie.
points right now. Referee Sydney is counting. If she can hold it for 20 seconds, she'll score 4 points just from that pin, which would already be a huge point lead for her.
Very heavy on the top.
Just holding
And
that
look at
position.
Jo Marie fighting this.
Really trying to get out of that, but Marianne showing her physical strength.
6
and
points
Wow.
already.
beautiful. Yeah, 2 points for the first takedown and 4 points for that 20-second pin.
I'm already a fan
Yeah,
of Mariano. that top,
me too. That top control, just that
the top
squeeze
control is
is
amazing.
awesome. Because if her opponent managed to get back to half guard or full guard, it would
Right.
be over. So she really just managed to squeeze that side control pressure, which was
That-
awesome.
Giving her no space at
No
all.
space at all to escape and get her hips back in. So already a 6-point lead, and now
Oh,
wow,
wow.
beautiful knees to
Beautiful
a throw,
knees.
and following up on knees, uppercuts.
Jo Marie trying to hold
Jo Marie
on.
really trying to just hold on and make something happen.
And Mariano on top again. That is a 7-0.
7-0. Wow, Marianne really showing her skills in this bout.
Skill and strength.
Skill and
Combined.
just raw physicality. Yes.
Right.
And Jo Marie needs to make something
Nice
happen right
overhand
now.
to clinch and
Oh,
the hip
beautiful.
throw. And to the
A few
Kesagatame
more seconds.
position.
I think we're going to finish this early.
I believe so. If she can get her to her back. Let's see if she scored for that hip throw. Not sure if her back was exposed. Okay, I guess not. Jo Marie did manage to
We're not
to land
complaining
on
for
her.
more action.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh, and there you have it. Yep. That's it.
That, yeah.
Wow.
11-0.
Oh,
Mariano just dominating Jo Marie Torres.
Wow. And that is why she is one of the best female combat athletes in the country right now. Awesome performance.
did not disappoint that main event of a combat sambo. Mariano showing us pure skill and strength. Look at that top control.
And finishing the match with in less than 2 minutes. Indeed, it was a quick one. I wish there was a 1 more minute of action.
Yeah, I
Just
wish
me.
we could just see more. That
Just
was
me.
Now we
that
gotta
was
see her
awesome.
in that MMA event, right?
Definitely in Bicol at
Right.
Warriors MMA on November 26th.
Okay,
She'll be fighting.
Mark,
then.
what is the key to the victory here for Mariano? What do you think?
Well, she has a great head throw there. So she was going for a head throw straight into a side mount. She just had great hip throws, head throws, and top control. She scored with her takedowns and also that 4-point time, 20-second time to control from the top. That was huge because that plus the initial 2-point takedown already gave her a 6-point lead. And when you're down 6-0, your opponent only needs 2 more points to win the match. So
Anyway,
it's really
this
hard
was
for her to rebound from
the
that.
action throughout the day. And again, we are treated with a lot of Sambo action for the Women's Martial Arts Festival. Mark, what can you say about these ladies?
These ladies all had great fights, put on great performances, and yeah,
Different
I'm just
personalities
happy,
too.
yeah, I'm just happy to be here and to get front row seats and enjoy the show.
And give your commentary and as well. And then we have the live stream on Mark's page as well.
Yes,
And,
yes, also recording.
hope you guys are enjoying it. This was quite fun for me together with, of course,
Right.
Baby Dynamite and the White Dynamite. We have Mugen and I'm the Black Dynamite.
I need a dynamite name now too.
You're the Mugen
I'm
Dynamite.
Mugen Dynamite. All right,
That's
there we
amazing.
go. 4 dynamites. Let's go.
Now, if this is an indication of the future of sambo in the Philippines, what do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think that sambo, it is a relatively new sport here in the Philippines, but definitely today's performance from all of our athletes is a sign of good things to come. Definitely
Hopefully more
international
females,
titles and
right?
more females winning at the international level, so they can join Sydney and some of our other champions, Sydney and Marianne.
Amazing, amazing, amazing matches.
And Mark hopes to still fight at age 45, like a
Yeah.
Dan the B7 type of.
You know what?
I don't
That
know- I
seems
don't
to
know
be
about
the
that.
trend right now.
I think I got a few more years, but I
Right.
don't know about 45, maybe 40.
Okay.
We shall see.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to see a slower Mark in the ring, like a Dan the B7 who's still
Just kind
kicking it
of
at
plodding
60.
forward, and
I think he fought at 58.
I remember that he was doing King of the Cage, King of the Cage fights. Yeah, that was
And the
quite
trend
something.
right now seems to be athletes transitioning to one sport to the other. Like, for example, Anderson Silva
Yes, yes, yes.
transitioned to boxing. Do you see yourself transitioning to another sport?
I mean, right now I'm doing sambo
Mm-hmm.
and MMA. I wouldn't mind doing jiu-jitsu or combat jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Or even wrestling, For the longest time, my dream was to represent the Philippines in the Olympics for wrestling. So, yeah, we shall see. I'm always open. And
Paris.
always training hard. So, yeah, and Paris is coming up. So that's definitely exciting.
All right, and anyway, we are treated with Mark being our analyst and explaining to us everything here about Sambo. It's good to have the Mugen with us with all the dynamites in this panel.
Explosive indeed is the word to describe
For sure.
today's sambo matches.
Anyway, my name is Ernest Hernandez, together with our partners Mickey Santos, Baby Dynamite,
Yes.
Rika Aquino, and Mugen Dynamite, Mark Striegel. We are saying we're just taking a break, and once we come back, we will have the awarding in just a bit.